Have you ever heard of deep-sea gigantism? It's an incredible phenomenon where creatures living in the deepest, darkest parts of the world's oceans grow to Leviathan-like sizes. Want to see the proof? From the largest creatures in our oceans to the most mysterious encounters, here are the biggest sea monsters ever discovered. Number 15. The whale shark. There's something fishy about this one, and it's not a whale at all. Despite its name, the whale shark is actually the world's biggest fish. They're only called whale because of their colossal size. How rude. Reaching sizes of up to 40 feet long makes it a big whopper. These big guys need a lot of food to keep them going, so what is it that they eat? Well, oddly enough, the whale shark, like other whales, even though, it's not a whale, mainly eats plankton, the teeny-weeny plants and animals that float around the sea. So, the biggest fish mostly just eats the smallest fish. Go figure. These colossal creatures are actually really docile and have been known to interact with people who are swimming or scuba diving near them in the water, sometimes even allowing them to take a ride. These friendly interactions with humans may well help to protect the endangered species. And as tourism to hang out with whale sharks increases, more of these awesome creatures will be protected. Well, there's a buck to be made, I guess, but whatever works. Number 14. Basking shark. Some of the ocean's gentle giants, basking sharks are the second biggest sharks in the world. Only whale sharks are larger. The basking shark eats only plankton and catches its prey in a particularly unique and, frankly, strange-looking way. Its gargantuan mouth can open up to 1 meter wide, giving these creatures a funny and permanently surprised sort of expression. As well as being a monster-sized 40 feet long and considerably hefty at 10,000 pounds in weight, this supersized shark has some other unusual features. Their livers make up a colossal 25% of their body weight. So what does a basking shark actually need such a big liver for? Well, this shark's liver is stuffed full of a substance called squalene, which is what helps it to keep it afloat. That's really weird. This special filtration system that a basking shark uses to catch its food is pretty unique as well. It filters up to 4 million pounds of water an hour, capturing the tiny plankton and then separating them from the water itself, closing its massive mouth to pump the water out again through its gills. And that makes that talent totally jawsome. Number 13. The killer whale. The orca is somewhat unfairly also known as the killer whale. This super clever mammal's not a real threat to humans at all. In fact, there are actually no recorded attacks of orcas on humans in the wild, so it seems a pretty inaccurate name. But it does make these big creatures sound scary anyway. Although, if you are a sea-dwelling creature and this incredible sea monster is hungry, well, who knows? The orca is a member of the dolphin family, so they live in pods or social groups, just like dolphins do. These groups are really sociable creatures and have a whole bunch of different ways to communicate with each other. Like dolphins, orcas also make different sounds that are used to interact with other orcas, and they use echolocation, which is where they make sounds that travel underwater and bounce off of objects. The orcas can then tell how far away, how big, and what shape something is. That's a super clever and efficient way to find their prey. It's an amazingly strong predator with a wicked set of skills that makes it perfectly equipped to hunt and thrive in the oceans of the world. Orcas do enjoy a wide range of different prey. They're definitely killers in that sense, at the top of the food chain. They'll hunt anything from fish and squid to penguins, seals, and seabirds, and they're also pretty partial to the occasional whale. The orca sure does have a big appetite. Number 12. The lion's mane jellyfish. With some of these awesome creatures growing up to 2.5 meters across and tentacles stretching an epic 30 meters, that's as long as the blue whale, by the way. The lion's mane jellyfish is definitely one of the world's biggest sea monsters. The lion's mane jellyfish, named because of their shaggy sort of appearance like a lion's mane, live mainly in the North Pacific and Arctic waters, where they hunt for small fish and crustaceans. Spookily, these sea creatures are bioluminescent, which means they make their own light and actually glow in the dark. This glowing effect not only helps them lure prey but also likely deters potential predators in the deep, dark waters they inhabit. Their tentacles are made up of thousands of stinging cells, which release venom upon contact to paralyze their victims almost instantly. These jellyfish are known to drift with ocean currents, often ending up in massive blooms, where hundreds gather together, creating a surreal, glowing spectacle. While their movement is primarily passive, lion's mane jellyfish can pulse their bell to navigate and adjust their position slightly in the water column. Interestingly, their tentacles are so long and fine that they sometimes entangle and catch prey that the jellyfish doesn't even realize it's captured until later. Despite their somewhat menacing reputation, these jellyfish play an essential role in the marine ecosystem by controlling populations of small fish and zooplankton. Although you probably wouldn't be too happy to see one coming, they really do have a nasty sting that they use to stun their prey before they consume it. The jellyfish's mouth is positioned underneath the bell shape of its body, so it's a dangerously efficient hunter, basically shaped like a massive trap, grabbing and stinging with its long tentacles and gobbling its prey. Their sting, although pretty nasty, is not really known to be deadly to humans. It is, however, pretty painful, so I wouldn't pet one of these guys if I were you. Number 11. The manta ray. Now, before you get all judgy, these manta rays are not the same as stingrays. They look similar, but where the stingray has, well, a sting and its long tail, the manta ray does not. Sure, it's got a long whip-like tail and looks a lot like a deadly stinger, but the manta ray is another of our ocean's gentle giants. So that's a relief when you see one of them, right? Growing up to an impressive 29 feet across, the manta ray is amongst the world's more vulnerable species. These highly intelligent creatures live along coastlines where there are coral reefs, and as you know, these reefs are endangered from pollution and bad fishing practices, so it's put these mighty sea creatures in danger as well. Manta rays are known for their complex social behaviors, often forming groups called fevers to feed and socialize. They also have the largest brain of any fish, which scientists believe helps them with problem-solving and navigation. Unlike many other sea creatures, manta rays are highly curious and often approach divers, making them a favorite among underwater enthusiasts. Their movements are mesmerizing, as they appear to fly through the water with their large, wing-like pectoral fins. These fins also help them glide long distances across open waters, as manta rays are known for their extensive migrations. Researchers are still uncovering the secrets of their life cycles, but it's believed that manta rays can live up to 50 years in the wild. Like some of the other mega monsters on our list, the manta ray feeds by filtering water for plankton and krill, but they're more agile than some of the big whales that we've seen so far. These guys do a whole load of somersaults to feed in one place where they find a bunch of krill to eat, spinning and turning to get the most out of one spot. They even churn up the water to make a kind of whirlpool that traps the food in the spiral and makes them a whole lot easier to catch. Number 10. The oarfish. If you've ever heard a salty old tale of deadly encounters with giant sea serpents, then this one's going to give you a shiver. The oarfish is that sea serpent. That's right, they're real. But how much battling they actually do with fishermen and boats? Well, that's the fishy bit of the story. These incredible creatures live in very deep oceans, and it's thought that they probably hang out at depths of up to 3,300 feet, so they're very rarely ever seen. In fact, they're mostly only witnessed by humans when they wash up dead on beaches. They're the longest of all bony fish, growing up to a humongous 56 feet long. Their shimmering, ribbon-like bodies have earned them the nickname King of Herrings, as they occasionally make appearances near schools of these smaller fish. Oarfish are thought to swim vertically in the water column, using their long, undulating dorsal fins to propel themselves in an eerily graceful motion. Despite their fearsome size, these creatures are completely harmless to humans, as they feed primarily on plankton and small crustaceans. Scientists believe their ability to live at extreme depths might help them avoid predators and human interaction altogether. Interestingly, oarfish lack typical swim bladders, relying instead on their gelatinous, lightweight bodies to maintain buoyancy. Their mysterious behavior and elusive nature continue to fascinate marine biologists, with much still to learn about their role in ocean ecosystems. Another reason that these big guys are seldom seen is probably because they taste disgusting, described as a gelatinous goo. The giant oarfish has avoided becoming a sought-after fish simply by being too gross to eat. Already part of myth and legend, the giant oarfish does seem to have some kind of mystical power. They're known to turn up just before an earthquake, like some kind of slippery soothsayer. So, that's one awesome sea monster. Now it's time for today's topic. Marine biologists have just unveiled an extraordinary discovery deep beneath the ocean's surface. A perfectly preserved skeleton of what is believed to be the largest ancient sea creature ever to have existed. Found at a depth of 3,000 meters near the Pacific Rim, this jaw-dropping find has left scientists baffled and in awe. The massive skeleton spans an estimated 100 feet in length, dwarfing even modern blue whales. Preliminary studies suggest the creature may belong to an extinct species of leviathan-like marine reptiles that ruled the oceans millions of years ago. Its enormous skull, razor-sharp teeth, and ribcage, perfectly intact, offer a rare glimpse into the anatomy of these prehistoric giants. What makes this discovery even more remarkable is the state of preservation. The skeleton appears to have been buried under layers of sediment, shielding it from the ravages of time. Some researchers speculate that this ancient predator could have been the apex ruler of its ecosystem, preying on other massive marine creatures. As marine archaeologists work tirelessly to document and study this specimen, the scientific community eagerly awaits further details. This groundbreaking find not only deepens our understanding of Earth's prehistoric oceans, but also sparks the imagination of what else may lie hidden in the unexplored depths of our planet. Number 9. The blue whale. The awesome blue whale is the biggest creature to ever live on planet Earth. It's larger than even any dinosaur. The most excellent thing is that these incredible sea monsters are still around today, so you could actually see one. It's pretty tricky to get your head around the real scale of the blue whale. They're monstrously big, measuring in at 100 feet long, which is like a 10-story building that's laid out flat, and weighing a totally incomprehensible 441,000 pounds. That's like 220 tons. This extraordinary whale is the biggest of all sea monsters ever. And just to give you a little clue into these sorts of weights, the blue whale's tongue weighs about the same as an elephant, ridiculously enormous. And their heart? Well, that's about the same size as a golf cart. Oh, and you can actually hear its heart beating from 2 miles away, which is mind-blowing. To sustain their massive size, blue whales consume an astonishing amount of food, devouring up to 4 tons of krill daily during their feeding season. These filter feeders use baleen plates to scoop up gigantic mouthfuls of water, pushing it out through their baleen and trapping their tiny prey inside. Despite their immense size, they are surprisingly graceful swimmers, capable of reaching speeds of up to 30 miles per hour when agitated. Blue whales also undertake some of the longest migrations of any animal, traveling thousands of miles annually between their feeding and breeding grounds. Unfortunately, their populations have dwindled due to historic whaling, and they remain endangered, with only around 10,000 to 25,000 individuals left in the wild. Conservation efforts continue to focus on protecting their habitats and ensuring safer oceans for these gentle giants. That gets us on to the blue whale's volume. They're the loudest creatures on Earth as well and can make sounds so loud that they can be heard almost 1,000 miles away by other blue whales. That's as loud as the sound of the volcano Krakatoa erupting, which was literally heard around the world. Number 8. The beluga whale. What a bulgy head. This funny old whale is a smaller sea monster than some. The beluga whale is the smallest of the whales, weighing up to 1.5 tons. It's still a whale after all, and it measures out to 20 feet in length. The beluga whale is most recognizable for its amazing white color, but they're actually dark gray when they're born, then slowly turn white over time. It could actually take up to 10 years for them to be completely white. That weird bulbous head is actually a really cool adaptation that this whale has developed. Inside the bulgy part of the beluga whale's head is a sort of pocket of stuff known as the melon, which is made up of a waxy, oily substance. This specialized structure not only aids in echolocation but also allows the beluga to create an incredible variety of sounds, including whistles, clicks, and even mimicking human speech. Unlike other whales, belugas can move their heads from side to side thanks to their flexible necks, which enhances their ability to navigate icy environments. They are often found in Arctic and subarctic waters, where their thick layer of blubber helps them survive the freezing temperatures. Belugas are also known to be incredibly social animals, often traveling in pods of up to 20 individuals and forming strong bonds with each other. Their playful behavior, including chasing one another and blowing bubbles, has made them a favorite among marine enthusiasts. So, when they're communicating with other whales, and the beluga, known as the canary of the sea, is the chattiest of them all, their melon helps them send and receive sound waves so they can find each other and locate food. Please feel free to add your own hilarious joke about melons here, but keep it PG-13, please. This is a family show. Number 7. The great white shark. You're gonna need a bigger boat. The first sea monsters on our list, although bigger, are like harmless baby birds compared to the blood-chillingly dangerous great white shark. It was a great white shark that stalked the coastline in the famous 1975 movie Jaws, and this is one massive, terrifying sea monster. The great white is a purpose-built killing machine with so many adaptations and features designed to make this shark one of the most efficient hunters on the planet. They have 3 rows of viciously sharp teeth, about 300 in total. Adding to their terrifying capabilities is their incredible sense of smell, which allows them to detect a single drop of blood in the water from miles away. They are also capable of short bursts of speed, reaching up to 35 miles per hour, which makes it nearly impossible for prey to escape. Their torpedo-shaped bodies and powerful tails enable them to breach the surface in dramatic hunting displays, launching their massive bodies out of the water. Great whites are known to have excellent eyesight, a feature not common among other sharks, giving them an edge during their hunts. Despite their fearsome reputation, they play a crucial role in maintaining marine ecosystems by controlling populations of seals, fish, and other prey. Researchers have also discovered that great whites are surprisingly intelligent, with behaviors that indicate problem-solving abilities and social structures. It seems that as many as half of all shark attacks on humans in the world could be attributed to great whites. Although these sharks may not always be out to kill the humans that they nibble on, I don't really know how you can tell if a shark has good intentions, though. Some scientists have suggested that the shark is just merely curious and taking a sample taste out of a human, but it will discard them when it realizes it's not really what it was looking for. That's not really too comforting for the victim. The sheer size and enthusiasm of the bite mean that many great white snack-sized nibbles are ending up fatal anyway. Number 6. The sperm whale. The sperm whale, despite having a silly name, you know you're giggling a little bit, is still a super weird and mysterious whale, making it one of the spookier sea monsters on our list. The sperm whale's bulbous head is filled with a strange substance that's been called spermaceti. Stop laughing. In the old times, whalers used to think that stuff was just sperm in its head, but scientists have discovered that it's actually not. However, they actually don't really know what it is at all. There are a few ideas, but nobody really knows for sure. The main thought is that the substance has something to do with the whale's amazing ability to dive really deep for long periods of time. Some experts believe spermaceti might help regulate buoyancy, hardening, and softening to adjust the whale's position in the water. This remarkable adaptation allows sperm whales to reach depths of over 3,000 meters in search of their favorite prey, giant squid. With their massive heads housing one of the largest brains in the animal kingdom, sperm whales are thought to be highly intelligent and capable of complex communication through echolocation clicks. These clicks, known as codas, can be heard across vast distances and are unique to each pod, almost like a dialect. Sperm whales are also incredibly social animals, living in matriarchal groups that share responsibilities, such as protecting calves from potential predators like orcas. Despite their size and power, these whales are vulnerable to threats like plastic pollution and ship collisions, which are significant challenges to their conservation. Amazingly, there are still good numbers of these extraordinary creatures in the wild. They were the most popular whale for slaughter by whaling vessels of the 18th and 19th centuries, and they're apparently a particularly good source of another weird substance called ambergris, which is a stinky, greasy wax that is made in the whale's digestive system. Even though it basically smells of whale poo, ambergris is used in perfume making. Oh, gross! Number 5. The Japanese spider crab. The largest of crabs in the world, the Japanese spider crab has 10 legs and can span as much as 12.5 feet, weighing at almost 20 kilograms. That's big enough to consume a human child. Masters of camouflage, these Japanese spider crabs live at depths of 150 to 200 meters, where they use the things around them to cover their shells and blend into the environment, becoming almost invisible to predators, which may account for how they can live for up to 100 years, with some of them surviving even longer than that. Their ability to regrow lost limbs also adds to their survival advantage, ensuring they can continue to thrive even after escaping a predator's attack. These crabs are most active during the spring months, particularly around the time they migrate to shallower waters to lay their eggs. Female spider crabs can lay up to 1.5 million eggs in a single spawning season, although only a small fraction of these will survive to adulthood. Despite their monstrous size, they are surprisingly docile and show little aggression unless provoked. They play a significant ecological role, acting as nature's cleanup crew by feasting on decomposing material and helping to recycle nutrients in the marine ecosystem. In Japanese culture, these crabs have been both feared and revered, inspiring myths and legends about creatures from the deep. However, these oversized crustaceans are more likely to be hunted by octopus or stingray than be much of a threat to themselves. They're scavengers, generally finding their food in the leftovers and decaying debris of animals and plants on the bottom of the ocean. There are plenty of legends around these creatures, and as much as they might not kill a human to feed, they absolutely have no problem gorging on any dead bodies that may find their way to the ocean floor. The Japanese spider crab is really only minding its own business, just being a crab and cleaning up a lot of gross dead stuff. Number 4. The ocean sunfish. Some of the weirdest looking of our sea monsters, ocean sunfish are massive, tailless fish with huge fins, often found floating on their side. But unlike your goldfish, that doesn't mean it's at death's door. It's probably just actually soaking up some rays at the surface, hence the name sunfish. Their massive dorsal fin gives plenty of people a bit of fright, as they're often mistaken for sharks when they pop up to the surface for a spot of sunbathing. The heaviest of all the bony fish out there, the ocean sunfish can weigh as much as 5,000 pounds. That's as heavy as a small hippopotamus. Despite their size, they are gentle giants, posing no threat to humans and spending their time gliding peacefully through the ocean. Scientists have observed fascinating cleaning behaviors, where sunfish visit cleaning stations, where smaller fish nibble off parasites from their skin. These interactions highlight the sunfish's role in maintaining marine ecosystems, as they provide sustenance for these cleaner species. Their odd shape also allows them to move with surprising efficiency, using their large fins to propel themselves in a unique, almost ballet-like motion. Ocean sunfish are also known for their ability to dive deep, often descending hundreds of meters in search of food, before returning to the surface to warm up. To get to this size, they need to eat a lot, and strangely enough, their favorite food is jellyfish. And because jellyfish are mainly made out of low-calorie, plain old water, these guys have to eat tons of them. Sadly though, with all of the plastic garbage that's floating around in the world's oceans these days, sunfish often mistakenly eat plastic bags, which look a lot like jellyfish when they're floating in the sea. This is now one of the biggest risks to the shrinking population of these fish. They're considered vulnerable in the wild. The poor old sunfish might not be as sexy as a shark or even as majestic as a whale, and it's definitely not the prettiest fish on the planet, but even floating blobs like this guy deserve a chance. So, come on, people, recycle and let's save the sunfish. Number 3. The fin whale. The only creature that's larger than a fin whale is the blue whale, so this is one colossal mammal with some massive credentials. Named for their prominent dorsal fin, these magnificent real-life sea monsters can grow up to 85 feet, weighing as much as 80 tons. Fin whales can swim at speeds of up to 23 miles an hour, but they're completely harmless to people, and they only feed through their baleen system. This is a way of taking in huge amounts of water along with their food, then sieving it all out, keeping hold of the prey, and pushing the water out again. Interestingly, fin whales are also known for their impressive vocalizations, which are among the loudest sounds made by any animal on Earth, helping them communicate across vast distances in the ocean. Their calls, often referred to as songs, are crucial during mating season and for navigating their migratory routes. Fin whales are found in every major ocean, traveling thousands of miles each year between feeding and breeding grounds. Despite their size, they are surprisingly graceful, often leaping out of the water in awe-inspiring displays. Sadly, their populations have been heavily impacted by commercial whaling, with an estimated 70% decline in numbers over the past century. Conservation efforts are now underway to protect this remarkable species and allow their numbers to recover. They dive down to depths of up to 200 meters in order to feed, mainly consuming krill. But these massive mammals are also adaptable and will eat other fish whenever there's a load of them available. They have a cool technique to kind of round up a school of fish. In fact, the fin whale will swim in circles around the schooling fish, getting them to bunch up closer into a kind of easy-to-eat bundle that they can then catch in their mouth. Whale, this is very interesting indeed. Number 2. The giant Pacific octopus. The giant Pacific octopus is the biggest of all octopus species, and this mighty mollusk sure has some incredible skills. What about being able to change their appearance a little bit like a chameleon, to blend into their environment, making themselves look like coral or a big old rock, just waiting for prey to pass by? It definitely does make these octopus handy hunters. They can also reach gigantic sizes. The biggest known measured was a mind-blowing 30 feet across and weighed a colossal 600 pounds. As well as looking pretty formidable, the giant Pacific octopus is also extremely intelligent. Their ability to solve complex problems, such as opening jars or escaping enclosures, has astounded researchers time and time again. They are also masters of strategy, often using tools like shells to create makeshift shelters or barricades against predators. In addition, their arms are equipped with hundreds of powerful suction cups, each one capable of independently gripping objects and tasting the environment. This multitasking ability allows them to interact with their surroundings in ways no other sea creature can. Fascinatingly, their unique circulatory system includes 3 hearts, which pump blue, copper-rich blood to supply oxygen to their body, even in oxygen-deprived waters. These clever octopus are maze-solving masters with an unusually clever talent for mimicry. They mainly eat smaller crustaceans, but some have been known to be partial to the odd small shark if it's on the menu. If threatened, they're going to expel a black ink to cloud their predator's vision. That way they can make an escape like an octopus ninja. It's truly extraordinary. The giant Pacific octopus is one of the most well-armed of all our sea monsters. Number 1. The giant squid. These epic sea monsters are so cool. They're the stuff of legend. Old age tales of fishing boats being wrestled by these beasts, and when you see the size of some of the giant squid, you're going to understand why. The biggest ever recorded giant squid measured a colossal 59 feet long and weighed a ton. That would make some monstrous calamari rings. They may actually get bigger than that, though, because these huge invertebrates are notoriously difficult to study, and much of their behavior and knowledge about them is generally still unknown. One of the most mysterious aspects of the giant squid is its elusiveness. Despite its size, it has perfected the art of staying hidden in the vast ocean depths. Researchers believe that their deep-sea habitat, thousands of feet below the surface, serves as a natural refuge from predators like sperm whales, which are thought to be their main adversaries. Additionally, their ability to shoot out a cloud of ink when threatened gives them an extra edge in escaping danger. The strength of their tentacles is another thing of legend, as each one is lined with hundreds of sharp, serrated suckers designed to grip and tear into their prey. Observations from rare video footage suggest that they are ambush predators, using their immense size and strength to overpower unsuspecting targets in a matter of seconds. The closest that scientists ever really get is if a dead giant squid washes up on a beach somewhere or they're accidentally caught by a surprised fisherman. They live in the very deep parts of the ocean, and it's believed that they mainly eat fish, other squid, and quite possibly even small whales. These creatures are equipped with 8 arms and 2 additional tentacles that they use for feeding, literally like hands for popping food into their beaks. The giant squid also sports a set of gigantic peepers. Their eyes are the biggest of all creatures on Earth, measuring a whopping 10 inches across, and that means that down in the sea where it's really dark, they can likely see their prey before their prey sees them, which is another awesome adaptation. The next time you take a paddle or rowboat out onto the water, you might just come face to face with one of these incredible sea creatures. It's easy to see where all those fishermen's tales come from now. What would you do if you encountered one of the largest sea monsters ever, and would you live to tell the tale? Let us know your thoughts, and don't forget to check out the other cool videos showing up on the screen. See you next time.